Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the live show. Let's get rolling and see what's going to be popping because we had a ton of them today. I mean, we went through so many yesterday that were popping today. It was insane. How about that KORESMX? Holo went crazy. RVSN, FFIE, BURU, Nubaru, OPTT. How about Boyle? You're on point with that one. NXU, WATT, and so many other ones. It was insane how many were popping. So let's see what else is going to be popping. And thanks for so many of you checking out the stocks on Spaces today. I was a guest there, and that's a great show hosted by Wolf Financial, Stock Market News, and Stock Talk Weekly. So again, I saw a ton of you guys on there. Greatly appreciate it. And found out they're not into the penny stocks, which is all good. So next time I'll definitely make sure we go over just big caps and ETFs and things of that nature. So it was just a red day, pulled back, and it had a bunch of them popping. So thought I'd go through them, but yeah, we'll stick to the big caps with them, and we'll do penny stocks on here. So, and the big caps, crypto, and everything else. So here we go. Let's get cruising, guys. All information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only. It is not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And like I said, we had a ton of them popping today. So let's get cruising. How about that Holo? I think we've called that one more perfect than any other stock on the planet. I mean, it's insane what we've done with this thing in the last, I don't even know, since June, maybe July, I guess, when we started messing with this thing. And I kind of had to call out that dude for telling everyone it was going to 241. Now that was pre reverse split. So it was going over $2. I mean, he said it was going over $2 and it was at like $1.20. And I was like, no, it's not. And then that's we started watching Holo after that, and we called it perfectly for like 4 or 5 times, and then this time another big time pop. I mean, what was it, like 375+%, probably closer to 400% pop right there on HOLO from where we were looking at it. So I hope a lot of you got in and locked in some profits. And honestly, it could be a runner in the morning there. It did pull back there in the after hours. So keep an eye on it, morning crew, and see what it wants to do. But it opened at 272 and it went up to 781. It closed at 610. So it wasn't bad, and it did blast off there. So that is HOLO, and that is Holo. And I mean, we were just right on the money with it. I mean, just started looking at it in the last week or so and knew it was going to get rolling. Same with RVSN. We had looked at both of these a while back, and then obviously we hopped back onto them. They'd pop back up, and we caught them as they were about to run up. We were a little early. RVSN, the same situation, and today that one went crazy, even crazier today. 154 to 317, and it closed at 265. And again, we were looking at these in like the 30 in the 40 cent range. So you're talking big pops right there. Holo, RVSN. How about FFIE? Looked at that last night, said it was going to get moving. That ran up over $1 today and kept on moving. That was probably close to 100% or just today, I bet. 216 to 395, closed at 387. So there you go at FFIE, and it is in the top. It looks like it could be a runner in the morning, so keep your eye on that one, and all three of them could be potential runners still in the morning with all that momentum. So you just got to kind of keep an eye on them bad boys and see if they want to run up, and make sure you lock them in, especially on a New Year's Eve. The market will be closed on Wednesday, and I totally forgot to look, so we'll have to look. I meant to do it last night, and while I'm thinking about it, let me just Google real quick and the NASDAQ holidays for 2024. I forgot to look and see what it was. And Christmas Day close. It doesn't say anything about New Year's Eve on here. At least I don't see anything. I would think that it would say it for 2024. So I guess it is open full full time tomorrow. I'm just looking. New Year's Day, it is closed. Yeah, it doesn't say anything about an early close. So there you go. It should be open until 4, at least it looks like. I know they just announced the holiday. It's what, January 9th, I believe. Is it a Thursday? And let me see right here. Is it the 9th? Yeah, Thursday, January 9th. And that will be for holy cow, I just went blank. The president that just passed away, and I can't even think. Holy moly, what a brain injury I have. Jimmy Carter, there we go. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name, but anyway, they are having a special holiday, so the market will be closed that day, and they just announced that today, so that'll be a special throw an extra day in there for a president's death. So there you go. So we'll keep an eye on everything, obviously. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up on that because that will be closed on that day. So that will be not running on Thursday, and it'll be back open that Friday. So Buru, this one was running up today as well, and we looked at it last night and said, hey, this one's going to run 55 to 99, closed at 83, and another one. It should keep that momentum. Still looks pretty good right there. How about NDRA? That one actually pulled back a little bit today. It did run up, but it did come down. I don't know if it closed down or if it came down. It went from 630 to 729, and then it went back to 611, but it closed at 689, so it did close higher than it opens. I just know it was in the sevens and came back into the sixes, but nah, it still looks pretty healthy right there, NDRA. So keep an eye on that. It looks like it ran back up in the after hours right there. So I would say that one's looking good. SOBR. And you know what? These scientific and technical instruments, that sector is actually looking good. There's not a whole lot of them, so we can take a quick look at some of them, but that's where that watt came from, and there's a few other ones we can look at real quick, but we'll look at SOBR real fast, and this one's been curling up. It's still in the basement there, setting up, and it's been running up. We were looking at it at the bottom down there at like 80 cents. It's at 120. It ran up to what, 170 the other day, and it is about to hit that line and try to cross through, and it should. So, and again, these scientific and technical instruments, there's only 2 pages, and I can roll through them real quick. I can open them up and cruise through them because I'll tell you what, a lot of them are looking pretty good here. I'll just open up a few random ones down here that I'm seeing, and we'll just go through them real quick. So give me 1 second because a lot of these bad boys are looking pretty good right here. I'll just open up a few right here. I'll hop onto the second page and we'll just look at a few random guys. Let's look at this one. And we already look at that. We looked at that and that. All right, here we go. ASTC. Let's look. That one's setting up right there. So keep your notes right here because these bad boys, I'm telling you, are setting up right here. ASTC, you're going to see that one running relatively soon. It's getting set up. It's looking beautiful right there. ASTC. I'm going to jot some of these down myself. So ASTC, let's go. Next one, let's keep rolling again. Scientific and technical instruments. I'm telling you, these things are setting up. Saw them today. BMI, Badger Meter. This one's coming down and setting up. Watch it come down to like 209. It's at 214. Just a little more pullback, and that'll be a doozy right there. So Luis Rodriguez and the option people will probably like that bad boy. So keep an eye on that. And CGNX, this one's setting up. It looks like it has that little bottom look. It was trying to pop up and made a nice little pullback right here. It looks like a little dip and rip situation. I have to see this. CGNX. Let's see. And yeah, it did dip back 35.50. It went up to 36 and came back down to 35.08. Nothing crazy. It closed at 35.42, so just under where it opened. And it is looking good right there. CGNX had that little dip and rip look, so keep an eye on that. CGNX and COHR. This one just came pulling back, and it's going to be setting up really soon and getting bullish. So we'll want to keep an eye on that. COHR. And yeah, that touched that line down here today at what, 92.40. So definitely looking much better on that dip, and I would assume this one's going to get set up. Maybe it pulls back a little bit more, but it is going to be getting set up there, COHR. And this next one's, I believe, set up because I looked at it today, ELSE. It is running up there at the top. It's at 533, but it does look like it's curling up and wants to run up a little higher. So you guys can keep an eye on this tomorrow. It looks like a momentum play right there. ELSE. And like I said, that one looks like it should keep on cruising up there at the top, and it's at 533. And let's keep going because ESE is setting up. It's down here at the bottom. This is where I love these bad boys. And this one's at 133 ESE. And yeah, it's getting set up. Like I said, just a little bit of pullback there, and it is going to get set up. That 20 is coming down. So maybe by next week, that should be looking good. So watch for them bottoms. And the bottom could be right around 131. It's at 133.29. So we'll keep an eye on that one. ESE and GNSS. This one was down in the basement, curling up, just came out, and it's going to bounce off that line right there. So GNSS. So yeah, GNSS. Yeah, it's about to hit that line. That one's looking really good. Keep an eye on that one right there, GNSS. And let's see what else we have here. ITRI is looking really good, guys. This one's setting up. It's at 109, and ITRI is looking great right here. Just a little bit of pullback. That bottom was probably 105. It's at 109.24. So keep your eye on ITRI because that one is looking really good right there. I like that one. And let's see, MIND, good old Mind Technology. And this one's been running up, and it should have momentum tomorrow. That's why I threw it on here, because I could tell it was way up there, but it does look like it has momentum for tomorrow. So keep your eye on MIND for tomorrow morning, because that one could continue to run up for you right there. And MLAB, this one has been running up. That one's a little pulling back on that line, but probably going to bounce off is what it looks like. Let me see. MLAB. And I'd have to look at this one. It did run up quite a bit, so its bottom was down here at what, 97.90, and we're sitting at 132 like a couple weeks later. So that one did run up already. TDY, this one's getting set up. Just a little pullback, was trying to get through. Give it a couple more, like another week or so. TDY, this one's at 465.23, so another big one right here. A lot of big ones in this sector. And like I said, let it pull back. I think that bottom's right here at 457.54. Today's bottom was 461.45, so it didn't get down that low, and that one is getting set up. TDY. And how about VNT? Let me mark down TDY and VNT. Let's see. This one pulled back, hitting that bottom right there. Another one should be getting set up. Let me take a better look at VNT. And here we go. It is just pulling back, so I'll keep an eye on that one. But yeah, a lot of great setups in that sector right there. And we'll keep an eye on them. And again, we started with SOBR, and that's scientific and technical instruments. And that'll just wrap it up with Watt, WATT, because that one ran today, and that one ran way up. And again, that's another one, came out of the basement and shot up. I don't know what they had going on, but it went from 45 cents to 280. It's at 203 right now. Let me see. I don't even see anything for news-wise, so... And there you go, WATT. And like I said, them bad boys are setting up them scientific and technical instruments. So let's get back to our list here. And that was sober. And we just kind of went off on a tangent, but that's all right. QNRX, let's look at that. Coin Pharmaceuticals up 14 cents, and we were talking about this crawling up yesterday and in the last few days, and this thing should cross through tomorrow and continue to move, so watch that one for some momentum. AISP's been a monster. We were super early on this bad boy, 566 to 748 today. It's at 736. Looks like it wants to go even higher. And again, we were so early on this one, AISP, that we saw this bad boy down here in like the $2 range, maybe even the $1.90s, $1.80s. I had posted it way down there, so, and I generally post them after we look at them on here, so they usually go up a little bit, and then I post it, not on purpose, it just happens to be that way usually, and yeah, this thing just keeps shooting up, and you could possibly see $8 plus tomorrow on here, AISP, Airship AI Holdings, so there you go with that bad boy, and like I said, watch that one to try to keep moving. How about the big cats, the cheetah, CTNT, and this one is trying to get set up. It was trying to get curled up to 20s right there. So we'll have to see it tomorrow. CTNT, and it is in between that channel. Even if it pulls back a little bit, back down to this 290 area, it's at 325. Won't be the end of the world, but we'd rather see it get back up there. So we'll see what it wants to do. It has that crazy look like it could make that hard 90, but I don't know if it's going to do it tomorrow. So we'll have to keep an eye on the Cheetah, CTNT, and LGHL, the good old lion. This thing is setting up really good. It's moving up today. It was trying to get moving. The lion, LGHL, and it's been between that channel right there. And it went 18 to 19. It's at 18 right now, and it is looking really good. So keep your eye on that guy, the lion, because it looks nice. And JagX, the Jaguar, this is at 102 and just kind of pulling back. It had just recently run up there for us, and let's see what it wants to do. 112 the other day, could be its high. It could just be pulling back to set back up is exactly what it looks like. So watch for it to try to pull back a little bit and then set up. And how about that other cat that's not even a real cat, but the Red Cat Holdings, RCAT? That thing was blasting off today. And I don't know what this thing does. It's like a financial one, I believe. Computer hardware. I'm sorry, I was way off. It's a computer hardware one. And yeah, this one's been cruising up there. RCAT 1250 to 1474. And we were looking at it pretty low down there. So that's another one that ran up pretty good. And that's about to get in the top and could really run. So keep an eye on that for the morning if it wants to run some more. And I'll keep an eye on that RCAT 80TX. Let's look at that one. It was setting up. It was up a little bit today and trying to curl up here. Let's see. I think it did move a little bit, but nothing crazy. Let me see. 19 to 23, and it closed at 20. So yeah, it's trying to get curled up here, ADTX, and we've been looking at it for a while. It made that base way down here. That low is in the 17-cent area to high 17s, and now you're at over what, 20 cents or a little over 20, and it is going to get set up to roll. So ADTX, keep an eye on that one as well, because that one's going to get moving. And speaking about how about EYEN, Inovia? This was up another penny today, and we've been watching it, and I told you this thing was getting in a good spot to keep your eye on it. EYEN, 9 to 15 today. It's at 12, so there you go. That's a nice little run, and it looks like it wants to continue, so that's going to keep that momentum right there. And that is EYEN, and we were looking at it, and it did exactly what we thought it was going to do. And so keep your eye on it, because it still should continue to run up there. And that's EYEN. And how about Ford F? Just was setting up the other day. A little bit of pullback as it's hitting that line. Nothing crazy. If anything, try to get that bottom price or around about, and it's at 953 was the bottom, and it's at 986 right now. I don't know if you're going to see that bottom yet again, but you very well could see down there. So keep an eye on that little dip action for Ford. It looks like it's going to pull back a little bit more and get set back up. It was trying to get set up and run, and yesterday just did not help it. So you can see it's got a setback up, and it will get moving. So that is F Ford, and it will get moving. Just let it set up. ELAB, ELAB, and this one was down 6 cents, but this one I thought wasn't too bad today. Let me see, 242 to 245. Down to 223 and closed at 231. So yeah, it did pull back a little bit there, and has a little pullback look, but still looks good to me. So I didn't notice that it pulled back that much, but it did, and doesn't look bad at all though, because it was touching that 20 and it's not getting under there, and the 20's still curling up. So on a nice red day, that one's not bad. It looks pretty good right there for E-Lab, so it's still setting up right there. And TWG, that Top Wealth Group, was up today. What were we talking about? Another one that is running up right on cue right here, and I hope Barber's happy about this one. 24 to 32, and it closed at 29. So there you go, and it's in a good spot. And like I said, this thing could run, and it could get cruising up here. So you have a lot of room. I can tell you that. Where's it can get to? Let me see. It goes right off the page every time. Let's see. Yeah, it can get like over $1. I mean, it was way up there. Remember, it took that huge dip. So that's TWG, and it is moving right on cue. So we like when that happens. KTTA, another one that we were looking at, and does look totally good to keep moving. It got into that channel, 282 to 327, and it's at 310 right now. So that's another one. And the stock authority was looking at this bad boy, and I agreed that it was setting up and running, and there you go, it's moving. So that's in that channel, and it's starting to move right there, and it looks pretty nice. KTTA, so keep your eye on that one as well. And TWG and WISA up 30 cents. I told you this one was going to run today, and it certainly did. WISA, and it is a semiconductor one. It went 259 to 284. It came back down to 255, but it doesn't look bad. It's up in that top, and these are where they like to run pretty high. So keep an eye on WISA. It could get cruising up here. So I'll look at this tomorrow to see if it wants to stay in that top. And how about HAO, guys? That thing was trying to move around today, and I'm telling you, this thing is setting up in a good spot. I'll tell you what. This bad boy probably wants to get moving. I hate when I do that. I always hit the wrong thing. Let me relaunch the Trend Spider. Hold on. Here we go. And here we go. HAO. And there we are. 12 to 15. And it is at 14. And it is looking really good right there. In a great spot, guys. And I think that one could get running up to 16, 17 with no problem. So keep an eye on that HAO, because it looks like it wants to keep on going. And how about ASPN, that Aspen? Let's see what that's doing. It did pull back. It ran up yesterday. It was still looking good, but pulled back today. Let me see what it did. ASPN, because that was looking much better. 204 to 240, and then it came back down into the 1170s. It's at 1192, and still not looking bad right there. And it did run up a little bit, not as high as yesterday, but not looking too bad. So that is ASPN, and we'll keep an eye on that Aspen. How about that SMX? That was a huge popper today. Another one in the right spot we were looking at, and boom, there you go, and it should run some more. So SMX, 36 to 93. It's at 66 cents. And like I said, keep an eye on that for some momentum in the morning, because that one's a big runner. And that KORE, another one we were looking at last night that ran up there, and it ran pretty big today. I'm not going to lie. It went from what, 320 to 490, and it's at 281. So it did close down, but it ran up there really nice, and we were definitely looking at that bad boy as well. And yeah, 490 was its high right there, KORE, and that one was good. We'll have to keep an eye. It might not be running up tomorrow. It's in the top. I don't know. I'll have to look at that one to see. But that one did what we wanted it to do from yesterday. XTIA. Let's look at that one. It was trying to move yesterday. It went a little flat today, and it is just setting up. It's taking its good old time, and the next thing you're going to know, it's going to run for like 100%. So it's getting ready to do it, guys. I'm telling you right now, XTIA is looking really good right there. Keep your eye on it. It's a shame that there's going to be some days off, could throw it off, but I think it's still going to be pretty safe to run. And that is XTIA, and the aerospace and defense. A lot of them are setting up. So True Golf is pulling back 15 cents. It did run up there yesterday, and it made some resistance there. So let me take a look at it and see if it wants to keep going. Yesterday got up to that 90 cents, and today 78 to 85, down to 57. It closed at 62. And I think it's going to have to pull back a little bit into the 50s and probably get set back up. So it will have a little bit of healthy pullback right here, True Golf, and then it should set back up right there, TRUG. But we knocked that one, we teed that one off for a hole in one right there. That was over 100%er. OPTT, that Ocean Power Technologies, another one we were looking at last night, ran up pretty big today. What did it run up to? OPTT. It went not 56 to 110, and it's at 107. So that's a pretty big jump right there. And that's another one. Got up into the top. Look at it for tomorrow morning because it could want to keep running up there. It has that look. EFSH. Let's look at 1847 holdings. And this one was trying to get set up. I think it still has a few more days or a week or so. So might have to just take a look at this one in a few days. And I will do that. So that's EFSH. How about Mullen? MULN. What's this up to today? It was up 14 cents and it's trying to pop out of the basement. Yesterday looks like it was its bottom right there. And um, yeah, yesterday I'm like, wait a second, today's Monday. Friday looks like it was its bottom right there, and that was on the 27th at 89 cents, and today's bottom was 92 cents, and it is looking pretty good to get cruising. So keep an eye on Mullen. It went 93 to 137. This says it went from 95 to 115 on FinViz, and again, I just point out all the time how much more accurate the trend spider is, but you kind of got to know where the prices are because it's at 133 right now, and it's only telling me in the after hours it's at 117, so it's not even close. And this thing looks like it's ready to get driving and get cruising right there. So keep your eye on Mullen. This is a crazy stock, though. I'm not gonna lie. We've talked about how many times it does reverse split, so it's not, none of these are really investments, honestly. They're all just catch the pop and take the profits and roll them to the next one. So that's exactly what you're going to do with this and all the other ones. So there you go for Mullen and MULN. It is getting set up. CERO, this was looking pretty good today as well. It's curling up, looking nice. We were looking at it last night. Someone brought it to our attention, and it did run up I keep saying yesterday. If I say yesterday, I mean Monday. And it ran Monday from 7 to 8. It closed at 6, and then today it opened at 6, went up to 7, and closed at 6 again. But it is looking good as it's crossing, hitting that line, curling up and about to hit the line. So keep your eye on CERO and PGHL. That one was up about 2 cents today. It was trying to roll, but it just couldn't have just didn't get that momentum going today. How much volume did it even have? It's over 2 million, which is good. It's in a great spot right there, 162 to 180, but did pull back and it closed at 155. And again, it still looks decent to me, and that's that PGHL. It's just setting up in a really good spot, and that bottom was way down here at 105, and you're at in the 55 area. So there you go for PGHL. Just keep your eye on that because that one has a lot of room it can run and a lot of momentum. So there you go. And FAMI, this thing was setting up. This is a small cap China one. And let me take a look at it. Good old FAMI. Yo, yeah, this one is setting up. A little bit of pullback and just kind of bouncing around today, to be honest. But keep your eye on this because this one's going to get cruising. 32 to 34. It closed at 31, and it is looking good right there. So nice setup happening. And it should watch for a dip and rip situation as well, especially on a day before a holiday. But it's not looking bad to try to get rolling real soon. And WINT, we looked at this, and this one's trying to get cruising. So keep an eye on WINT right here. And that is that wind tree. And what did it do? 34 down to 29. What did it close at 33 yesterday? Yesterday it went 32 to 35, and it closed at 32. Or 33, and today it opened at 34, came down to 29, but closed at 32. And again, not looking bad down here. Looks like it's making that base and trying to get out of the basement right there. So there you go at WINT and VRPX. This one was setting up and running, and it was up today, and it was looking good. We were looking at it last night and this morning, 47 to 57. It closed at 35, but I don't even know. It's still in that channel right there and doesn't look bad. So we'll keep an eye on VRPX, but it did run up today and it was set up to get moving. I would have thought it would have looked better today, but I'll take a look at it in the morning. NMHI, good old Nature's Miracle, another one we looked at last night, and this was up today. NMHI, so we were just smashing them out of the park. And they're running pretty nice. They're getting set up 208 to 228, and it closed at 211. So there you go at Nature's Miracle, NMHI. And that one looks like it wants to continue its way up. ATLX, let's see that one. ATLX, Atlas Lithium. This one's just a little bit of pullback as it's setting up. We're still not down at that bottom, and I don't think we're going to see it again. 612, we're at 630 area. ATLX. So let this get set up, and it'll get moving. Atlas Lithium Corporation. And let's look at IBRX. Let's see what that's up to. We were looking at this last night, and it is curling up real good. Made that base. It's at 268. It was down a little bit right there, but that's the best time to get them. And that bottom was back here at 250. Today's bottom was 258, and it is looking really good to try to cross through IBRX. So keep an eye on that because that one's going to get moving. It is setting up right there. And let's look at the Wolf and Wolf because Terra Wolf was down today. And so let it pull back a little bit and bounce off this $5 area, and then it'll be much better. And let's look at the other Wolf, the WOLF, the real Wolf, Wolf Speed. And we were saying that Terra Wolf wanted to go down, and this one, Wolf, wanted to go up the Wolf Speed, and it definitely did. And this one pulled back as well. So let this one pull back a little bit more, and it'll be bouncing. So WOLF also pulled back here, 736. It went to 741, and it came back down into the 670s. It's at 676 right there. So nice little pullback. It was hitting that line and just kind of pulled back on us. And we were looking at Wolf and Wolf last night. But yeah, this is going to be a really nice setup. So let it pull back a little bit, and that'll be a good one. So we'll keep an eye on it. SPCB, Supercom ran way up there. And let's see what it did today. SPCB, $4 to 814. It's at 599. And that one could keep its momentum. It just got into the top, has that look. So keep an eye on SPCB in the morning. And good old Boyle and Cold, we nailed these. Boyle was up like over $10. It's hitting that top. We'll have to see if it wants to jump up in there tomorrow. A lot of times they don't really like to go like a whole lot multi days, but we'll keep an eye on it. Went 55.95 to like 64.64. It's at 60.55. So that is Boyle. And let's look at Cold, KOLD. And this one definitely went down today, and it touching that bottom line right there. They usually don't get into the basement. They'll run the top, but they generally don't get in there. They do sometimes, but not all the time, especially this one. I'm looking, I don't even see it in there. I bet Boyle has. It did back here, whatever day that is, but that's a while back. And like I said, I bet Boyle has, but Cole's been on like a big bullish streak for so long. And remember, we were talking about that they would reverse. Well, that one dipped down. It may bounce back up, and then, we'll have to take a look and see how the charts want to set up. But yeah, we now Boyle and Cold today. That was pretty nice right there. And let me see if you guys want to look at anything real quick. AMPX, let's see what that's doing real quick. AMPX, that one's running up. That should be a runner in the morning. Let me see what it did in the after hours right here. AMPX, 234 to 306. It's at 288, and that does look like it should be a momentum play. It has some resistance right here at that 314, so just be careful right there. But other than that, it looks pretty good. And let me see what else is going on. IZM, let's see what that's up to. I don't even know what this is called, but it's an electronic computer company or something. It's down 12 cents. Just got into the basement. That almost looks like a nice little dip and rip situation right here. And that went from 190 to 161. It's at 170. I might have to keep an eye on that. Let me jot that one down. IZM. I'll keep an eye on that bad boy. I like them when they look like that. I'll see if it wants to roll tomorrow or if it's going to stay in that basement and we'll get even a better price. So we'll look at that one right there. And that's for Corey. TLT for Luis Rodriguez. TLT. Let's see what TLT's up to. Oh, that's the Treasury bond. And yeah, that one's gonna be curling up, I think, and looking a little bit better right here. And it does look like the TLT is looking pretty decent for the Treasury bond. It does have that resistance back up here at 90, so we're not talking anything too crazy, but it is curling up to try to get moving, so we will keep an eye on it. And it does look like a little options player right there, I would say. So there you go with your TLT, Luis Rodriguez. And how about TANH for Tommy G? TANH. Let's look at that one. TANH. Here we go. That was up 4 cents. Wasn't this on our list last night or whenever, last night or last week? I know it was on there recently. TANH. And let's see, come on up. All right, let me get this to pop up on here. TANH, here we go. Doesn't want to pop up on here. But anyway, I'll look at it on here. It did run up. It got up into the top right there, and it's not looking bad. Yeah, I don't know why it's not coming up on the Trend Spider. And I even did my little trick where I popped in like Apple, and usually it'll work, but Google, Apple, and everything else is working. Let's try TANH. And no, it just doesn't want to pull up that chart for whatever reason, doesn't like it. Anyway, it is getting into the top. I would keep an eye on that, Tommy G, because it could be running in the morning. There you go, MG Cooper. I hope you heard that. On NMHI, Nature's Miracle, looking good. Brandon QNCCF. I'll look at it. It's OTC. So I don't even see anything for that. What? QNCCF. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Quantum Emotion Corp. And I think we've looked at this before and it's been going up there. But again, I don't really mess with the OTCs. They're hard to really look at. I just don't get the right charting on them. I can look at them on my Trend Spider, but I need to see this setup too on a different one. I guess I could look into like and see if something else has them like the Webull or something. I never messed with OTC, so I never really checked it out to be honest. But yeah, I mean it does look. I mean it's been running up. Let's put it that way. It's at 104, and let me see. Is that even today's date? Yeah. And Friday it was at 66 and it went up to 85 and then today it's at 104. So yeah, I mean it's been running up there, so I can't say that it's not. SMX, we just did that one. That one's a beast. We were early. It should get up into the top tomorrow. And it did come down the after hours, but I don't know if it did look bad. Let me see. Nah, it looks good to try to continue to run there. And SPRC, I think we didn't do this one. It ran up the other day. This one does look like it's trying to get back up into the top right here. So have to keep an eye on it to see if it actually does get up there tomorrow. If not, it's going to be pulling back right there. WRAP, let's look at that one. That's a scientific and technical instrument one. And Laptop Travel likes that. And this one has momentum, and I like it too. It was up 14 cents today, and it is looking good. Wrap, so at 191 to 207, and it's at 204 right now and looking pretty solid. So keep your eye on that. WRAP, I like that one right there. And let's see, Holo, you know we already did that. I think that was first on the list, right? And it should have some momentum in the morning. It did come down the after hours. Actually, it says it on there that it came down the after hours. It closed at 610. So on FinViz, it says it closed at 641, but then came down to 569. On mine, it says it's at 610. So I'm going to go with it, and it does look pretty healthy to try to continue to run up tomorrow for some momentum play in the morning. So if you're up early, Chris, check it out on the Webull. And if you're not, then don't try to chase it if it's not running up there because it could come pulling back on you. And let's see, Ding Dong wants to see ASNS. What is that? Actelius Networks or something. And this one's trying to curl up there, up 19 cents, up more in the after hours. A ASNS. Yeah, it did run 117 to 170, and it's at 157, but looking good. It bounced right off that 20 and was looking strong right there. And I don't see why it wouldn't run up some more tomorrow for ASNS. Not looking bad, ding dong. And let's see what else is going on. On December 31st, the U.S. stock market will operate during its regular trading hours from 9:30 to 4. And however, the bond market will close early at 2 p.m. And there will be no overnight trading after 8 p.m. tonight. So there you go. And RVSN has three major catalysts. So looking for some more growth in 2025. We were way early on that. We were looking at that thing in the summertime, and then that train got rolling. It left the station recently, and boom, there we go with that. And here we go. Let me see. I'll do the laptop travel ones as well. And let me just keep on cruising back here, and we'll cruise right through the rest of this list. And see what else we're going to be looking at for tomorrow and the new year, that's for sure. So here we go. I'll just fire it off with that LNKS. I know it's down here somewhere, but here we go. LNKS. Let's look at that Linkers Industries, and it is a new one right here for TNT. And we've gone over it, pulled back, it pulled back. It is just pulling back right here. LNKS. I'm going to look at it on mine, and it is new, like I said. And just that pullback, it's just starting to show up on the RSI. I have a feeling you're going to get some more pullback, and it's going to have to come back and bottom out. We don't have an MACD yet because it basically started December 5th is what it says here, and December 9th on mine. So it's probably started on the 5th, I'm sure. And so yeah, it doesn't give you much data, but it does look like it's kind of pulling back, and it's not giving me that bottom look just yet there, TNT. So we will keep an eye on that one. LNKS for you. I know you like that one. And Brandon definitely likes that QNCCF. I mean, we've looked at it. I don't know if Brandon was the one that told us to look at it for the last week or so, but someone's definitely been telling us to look at it, and it has been going up. Like I said, the OTCs, I wish I could see them a little better. You just don't get the looks on them like I can with the other ones, because again, I like to see the setups real quick to confirm that I'm looking at the right thing, and then I just know my trend spider is going to be on the money if the setup's right. But if I can't tell what the setup is, it's hard to just know what it's going to do. Don't ask me why, but that's just how my brain operates with them. So yeah, I'll try to, like I said, I'll look at that one on like Webull or something and just see if I can see the setup. If I can see the setup, I'll start looking at them on there, and I can obviously use the trend spider and get a better look. So there you go, and there's your LNKS. And let's take a look at some more right here. Here we go, real quick. Let's just cruise right through our list real fast. TNXP, that one is setting back up, to be honest with you. That one ran way up there on what, December 17th it ran up, and now it's hitting that 20. It looks like it wants to curl back up. Let me just see what it did in the after hours real quick. Let me put the right thing in, TNXP and not TXNP. And here we go. TNXP, yeah, it's off that 20. We'll see tomorrow if it can really get curled up there. It should. I don't see why it wouldn't, but we'll make sure. Let me confirm that tomorrow. I'll take a look at TNXP. AUUD, let's look at that one. That's one that we haven't looked at in a while. Looks like that bottom came down right there at 42, and it's at 52 right now. It was trying to hit that cross through, and it just couldn't do it today. AUUD, and yeah, let it set back. It's just setting up the cross through. It's got to get through that 55 area. It's at 52, like closer to 53 cents. So it just got to jump up a little bit more, and then it can get in the channel, and then it can really get moving right there. And that's AUUD, so that is setting up. How about that NXU? That one ran up huge today, and we were looking at this thing down in the 20-cent area, and it ran like over $2. So NXU went from 29 cents to 213 and it closed at 159 and we were definitely looking at that like a week or two ago. So there you go at NXU. That was a big popper. XPON, this is one we haven't taken a look at in a while, but it is running up today. Wow, that looks good to continue too. It looks like XPON. Let me see. And it is in that channel 218 to 299 and it went to 281 when it closed and does look good. So keep an eye on that one for some momentum right there. XPON. And how about NU? Let's look at this one. Haven't looked at this in a little while. NU Holdings. This was up 32 cents, and this one's a great one too. Just coming off of that bottom out of the basement, I would say NU is going to be a nice little runner. And it went from what 1040 to 1082. It's at 1064 now. So keep your eye on NU. That one's setting up to run nice. And there's your LNKS. I couldn't even find it when I was just looking for it on there, but I knew it was somewhere on the list, and we just did that. And like I said, I think that one's going to have to pull back just a little bit more, and hopefully we can get more of a look on even just the RSI. It's not even giving us anything on the MACD, and that's generally what I'm looking at. But even the pattern looks like it's going to pull back. It didn't bottom out there. So that is LNKS and BBLG. Let's look at that one. Bone Biologics, and this one's just kind of pulling back there flat at the bottom, and it did look like it bottomed out there at like that 87 cents. It's at 94 BBLG. And yeah, it did at 85, and it is trying to move 93 to 98. It's at 98 right now, and it is trying to get curled up. So keep an eye on that. And Laptop Travel just posted the NXU from a while back ago. So yeah, there you go. We were looking at that thing in like September. So yeah, we were looking at that way. I mean, I know we looked at it almost every month for the last few months. There's certain ones that we've just looked at. They set up, they run, and they bounce back down, and they dip, and then they get set up again, and they'll run 100%. And we just catch each one of them, and yeah, that's pretty much what we've done for months here since the summertime, that's for sure. And let's just keep on doing it. So here we go. BBLG again, just pulling back. It's bottomed out. It's getting ready to get cruising. So keep an eye on that because it is getting set up there. It's not going to run tomorrow, I don't think, but it is looking pretty decent to set up. VRME. This one could run tomorrow, though. VRME. Let me see. Yeah, that one looks like it should get up, try to get up to that 91. It's at 81 right now. Verify me. So just take a look at this because it could get curled up. And that's VRME. So yeah, that one looks pretty decent. And how about TNOM? This one ran in the pre-market one day. Laptop Travel remembers, and Peninsula Life and some other people definitely remember this one. TNON went from like $4 to $125 at 4 a.m. It was done at like 4:15 in the morning, and it ran like a monster. And I'll tell you what, and I know it was probably back, was it back here on this day right here, September 16th, I bet, because when it opened up, it was only at like $15. So I do remember that, and that's basically the only spot. We weren't doing the show back in March. So it did reverse split, so never mind. It reverse split on the 6th. So it probably was that day though. It just has different prices. Anyway, that doesn't matter. What matters is what's going on right now, and it is set up to get cruising. Let it get over that 201, and it's at 192, and it looks pretty good. TNON. So yeah, let it get right over that 201 area. It's at 195, and it wants to get moving. I have to agree that that one is getting set up to try to run. I'm not sure it's going to 125 again or 124, but it is getting set up to move. So keep an eye on it. TNON and SXTC. This is that China SXT Pharmaceuticals, and this thing's getting set up. It was trying to run up the other day, pull back into the channel, and it is looking pretty good right here, guys. It ran 43 to 60. It closed at 50, and I would say that has some good momentum for tomorrow. Keep an eye on that. SCPX, I think we might even did this one already. Scorpius Holdings, if not, it's bouncing off that bottom right there, getting into a great spot. I don't think we did, and this one looks really good right here. So keep your eye on SPCX because that's looking good. We definitely looked at GRRR. I went over that one already, and that one was running up there at the top. And again, it's way up at the top. I wouldn't be chasing it. It does look like it could keep some momentum tomorrow, but make sure it's running up there and be careful chasing that one, especially on New Year's Eve. CPHI, that China Pharma Holdings, this thing's getting set up right here. It was just kind of bouncing around today. Just CPHI, I was checking it out. I don't know what's go. Oh, here it is. 20 to 24. It came down to 18 at one point, and it closed at 24. So it's definitely not looking bad right here. I know we looked at it last night. It was in that channel, and it is looking pretty good setting up. So CPHI looking pretty decent. We already went over Watt. That thing ran up like crazy today. I can't even spell it. WATT, and we went over it again with the scientific and technical instruments, and they're setting up, and that thing ran like crazy. AEHL, Antelope Enterprises, this thing's looking good. It's curling up and looking real nice. It was running today, and we were looking at this recently, AEHL, and 20 to 24, and it's closed at 23. It's in between that channel, so keep an eye on that. That should keep moving right there. AEHL, MLGO, we were looking at this. I think we look at it. I mean, we just go through the whole entire market and see what's moving. So, of course, we're looking at it because it's moving. It was up over $1 today. You know, we're looking at it. MLGO, and that one went from 298 to 414 in between that channel, and it closed at 398 and looking pretty good to continue its way up to the top. And that is MLGO. So watch that one for some momentum. NIVF, is that what it is? Let me type it in right. I can't type tonight. NIVF, here we go. And this one's been trying to set up as well. It was down a little bit today. It was just kind of running around, and it is over to 20. It's still looking good. NIVF, I think it just kind of had a little pullback, 46 to 50, down to 34. It's at 41. So it did close lower. It did run up. I didn't even notice that it ran up a couple cents, but it did close lower. I did see that, and it doesn't look bad. It's just in that channel. So that is NIVF. And like I said, looking pretty decent. What about EQV? I saw Laptop Travel talking to somebody about it. And let's see what it's up to. That EQV Ventures Acquisitions. And this one just came off the top right there. Let's see what it is up to. It's a fairly new one. It just ran like crazy. I have to look at this tomorrow why it's moving because it's a hard one to even take a look at. It's just been running up, and it looks like another one. It's brand new, September 27th. It does have some data right here, but it looks like it's hitting the top. I can't tell if it wants to get into the top or not. So I'll have to take a look at this tomorrow to see what it's actually doing there. So I'll look at EQV and get a better idea with that. IZM, let's see that. IZM, somebody wanted to see that one. Did we even look at this already? Yeah, we might have because that name looks crazy, but I don't know. Let's see what it's doing. Yeah, we looked at this. It has that dip and rip situation. Look, IZM. So keep an eye on that because that does look like it could have bottomed out today at that 161. So watch for this one to try to set back up and try to bounce right there. HKD. Let's see this one. This one was trying to set up. I did see this one today. It's on a watch list of mine, and it was up 8 cents, curling up. So good eye on somebody pointed it out. I didn't have it on the list, but yeah, this one's going to run up. It's going to get up to that 304 area and then try to blast off HKD. So keep an eye on this one. This is actually a software company in France. So keep an eye on this. This one's actually run pretty big before. I forget what it got up to, but it did run pretty high up there, and it never reverse split. It was like way up there. I don't remember, but it looks like it's trying to get moving again. So keep an eye on that HKD because it could get cruising right here. And let's look at I'll even put a little dot and a mark. I want to see that. QSI, that's that Quantum Sci Incorporated. That one's coming down. It's been in the top, so obviously you don't want to chase it unless it's definitely going to bounce tomorrow. So you'd have to keep an eye on that in the morning, see if it wants to bounce up there. But LIDR, that's that AIAEYE one. And this one ran up Friday. It was in the top. I thought it was going to stay up there, but again, you get them weekends on these short weeks and you can't tell what's going to happen. It did run up today, 213 to 241, but it came into the 150s and it closed at 174. So had to see what it wants to do tomorrow, but it did pull out that top. If it did have that short week and weekend, it probably would have ran like a maniac like all these other ones, but that kind of threw it off right there, I think. Is what it looks like to me anyway. And I wasn't even in it, but I'm just telling you what I see. And how about that UNH, that United Health Group? This thing is trying to curl up there. We knew that bottom was down here at 475. You're at 508 right now. And let's just see if it's going to pull back at all. UNH. And it is getting hitting that line. It should try to cross through even tomorrow. So we'll have to keep an eye on that one. I'll look at that one, let you guys know. UNH. And how about Ben? We looked at this one. It was down 55 cents. I was looking at it last night. It did have that pullback look, but today it's hitting that bottom support line too. So it could get cruising there. I think it bounced back up maybe in the after hours. 2061. It went from 2024 to 2061 where it's at, but it came down to 1998. And like I said, it closed up. So it did pull back and then it went up. So keep an eye on this BEN. Somebody mentioned it yesterday and it is trying to set up. It looked like it wanted to pull back today. It did, but then apparently it might have bounced off that bottom. So just keep an eye on Franklin Resources tomorrow, BEN and NCRA. Let's see what that one's doing here. NCRA. That was up 4 cents. This one ran recently, but actually is trying to curl back up right here. NCRA. Well, yeah, it did look like it on FinViz. Mine, it looks like it's trying to pull back, but ever so slightly. And then I'll look at this one tomorrow. NCRA, you might want to keep an eye on it. It has that look like it could pull itself up and really run, but it's not confirming it. But it does have that weird look about it. So I'm going to look at it tomorrow. NCRA. And how about OCC? Let's see, OCC, Optical Cable Corp. This one's run up recently. It's in the top. I probably wouldn't mess with this one. It is a little bit flat, and that's the reason why I probably wouldn't mess with it. Because if it wanted to run up, I think it might have ran some more already. So I just can't tell, and it could pull back right there. NCVT, I don't even see that. I'm not sure what I wrote down for that bad boy. And let's see what else we have here. GOEV. Let me know what you guys want to look at. Canoe, GOEV. This one was setting up. It recently just split too on December 24th. So Christmas Eve. And now we're getting set up. So let's keep an eye on this GOEV, guys, because this one's going to be getting good. So I want to mark that one, GOEV. Let me just write it down here. Definitely one to keep an eye on right there. And INDO, we looked at this one, Indonesia Energy, and what it do, 296 to 303, and it came down into the 270s and closed at 286. Let me just see right here. INDO. Let me see what that setup looks like. INDO. Down 18 cents. It looked like it was trying to get cruising up there yesterday. So, yeah, it might have to pull back a hair and then get fired back up. So, INDO, let's see if it wants to pull back. How about BHAT, that Blue Hat Entertainment or Interactive Entertainment? And this thing's curling up now finally. and looking much better today. So what it do? 12 to 22. That's why, and it went to 16 is where it closed. And honestly, on FinViz, it tells me it opened at 11 something, and its high was 13 and a half. And in the after hours, it was only under 14 and a half. And that's not even close because again, it just ran to 22 cents and it's at 16. So there you go. I mean, yeah, it's still not there. So yeah, but I would say B Hat ran today and should continue its momentum tomorrow. So that one was an after hours runner, it looks like. How about RIME, Rhyme? This one we've been all over, and this thing looks like it's going to start getting moving now. So keep an eye on RIME. It was up a little bit today. I think it was trying to move in the after hours right there. So it's trying to get in the right spot and get cruising. So keep an eye on that. That's setting up there. How about how WIMI? There we go. WIMI, Weemy hologram. And we were looking at this the other day, and it just keeps running up. I don't know what's happening with this thing, but 254 to 292, it's at 229. And yeah, I'm not even sure. It's just up at the top flat. So I don't like that look. I like when they're down. It's not something I would mess with, but we looked at it the other day and I know it bounced up. I don't know if we looked at it Friday or before that, but I just know we looked at it and it was cruising. And how about ONEI? And that one doesn't even come up anymore. And this one changed names or something. It does look like it comes up as LMNR. So I guess maybe ONEI might have changed its name. Very well possible. If not, I'm not sure, but we'll look at this anyway. So let's look at LMNR and look at what this is doing. So this one is trying to bounce back. That bottom looks like it was Friday at 2269. We're at 2406. LMNR does come up. I wonder if it ONEI. It does come up on. Oh, it's an OTC. That's why I apologize. So my bad. ONEI does come up. It's one meta, and that's what it's called. And it looks like today it doesn't have anything for today. It just had Friday's date, and it looks like it's stopped. So I'm not sure what's going on with that one. I can't even tell you. And so yeah, my apologies on ONEI. It was a OTC, and it looks like it stopped on Friday. I don't see anything for today. But there you go for that one, unless I'm just completely missing it. Where it closed there. Oh wait, it is up there. I'm sorry, I was missing it. It was blended in with the numbers and stuff. So hold on, let me pull it over here. So Friday went 70 to 137, and then today it just went 138, and that's all it did. So I don't know. It just says it didn't do anything. But it does say it was up. So I'm not sure. We can look at that tomorrow. And again, that looks like an OTCer. So they're hard for me to even tell. Let me run through our laptop travel ones and see which ones are set up right here and ready to roll for the next day or so. AAME, Atlantic American Corp. That one's about to run, guys. AAME. Keep your eye on it. 149 to 155 in today. And it closed at 149, but looks good. ALLR. We've definitely looked at this in the past. I mean, it's in that channel 116 to 118. It's at 117 now. And ALLR wants to get cruising pretty soon. And I just can't type today. I don't know what's going on here, but yeah, that thing has a lot of room. It's in the channel and should continue its way up there. So that's getting set up. ATXI, here we go. ATXI Avenue Therapeutics. And that one's just a little flat inside that channel right there. So just let that bounce around for the moment. And that'll get set up. ATXI, AYTU. We haven't looked at this in a little while, but this is setting up. And this one could be one to keep an eye on for tomorrow. AYTU. It's in that channel. Watch it get to that 172. It got up to that 167 today. But yeah, that one wants to get cruising up there. AYTU and BCDA. Let's see that one. BCDA. Oh, BCDA. There. Oh, I still can't type it. The first time I didn't have it on. And there we go. Cardia or something. BCDA down 31 cents. This one ran up the last two trading days, Thursday and Friday, and let it pull back to get set up right there because it will be a perfect setup and it will bounce. So we'll let that pull back. CELZ, Creative Medical Technologies. And let's see, this one is getting the B in the right spot right there, trying to curl up. Yeah. That one could be bouncing up tomorrow, and it has resistance at 287. You're at 251 right there. And ELPW, Elong Power Holding. I know we looked at this recently. ELPW, let me see. ELPW, Elong Power Holding, and this one's getting to be in the right spot, curling up right there. Yeah, that one looks really good, guys. So keep an eye on that one. I like that one, and we probably looked at that about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And you know we're always early on them, especially a lot of these laptop travel ones. They get set up, but they also run for 100%. We just pick them out when they're about to run. It's a beautiful little setup we have here. Laptop travel feeds us beauties. I'm telling you, the scanner's on point, and we just cruise through and pick them out when they're about to run. It's a beautiful thing. So FEBO, FEBO, let's look at it. Fenbo Holdings, because this thing's setting back up and getting ready to run right here. FEBO. So yeah, what it do? 165 to 185. It's at 158, but not looking bad right there. So keep an eye on that. FEBO, GNLN, Green Lane Holdings, and this thing I would see this one trying to run tomorrow. GNLN. Keep an eye on this one because that one should be trying to move up there tomorrow as well. And HOFV, we've looked at this one recently, and I know this was moving today, I believe. Let me see. HOFV. It was up 10 cents. Hall of Fame Resort and Entertainment, and it is set up in a pretty good spot right there and should stay in that channel, get up to that 121. It got up to 113 where it's at, and it should continue to move. So that one looks good. And KXXN, isn't it KXIN? KXIN. Yeah, KXIN. That's probably an I right there. We'll change that. KXIN. We'll look at this one because this one's setting up that China auto and truck dealership. I know we looked at it recently. It ran up a little bit when we were looking at it before, and now it's really getting ready. So we were saying it was getting set up before. Again, we were probably 2 or 3 weeks early on it, but that one's getting ready to rock and roll. KXIN. So keep your eye on that one. And how about LCLU? Is that what that is? LCLG, maybe. That might be, I guess. I don't even know. But nah, it's definitely not going to be that. I have to see what that one is. I'm not sure what I wrote. I just see LCLG right there, and that's an ETF. So I don't know. Let me know what that is. Laptop travel, NERV, Nerve, Minervis, Neurosciences. I know we looked at this recently, and this one's getting set up to run off and hit a nerve. So it ran 238 to 217. It came down. It ran up on, it gapped up because it closed at 226. So it did gap up a little bit. And like I said, it's going to be in between that channel and get moving. LVLU is what it is. There we go. LU. I don't know what I wrote down, but there we are. I'll go through that. But yeah, Minerva, that one's getting set up right here. So keep an eye on that. And here we go with LVLU. That one comes up as Lula's Fashion Lounge. Oh yeah, we looked at this not too long ago. It's right on that line. Them bottoms are easy down here at 97. It's at 112. LVLU. And yeah, that one's about to run up to 130 area. It's at 116. So keep an eye on that one. That's looking good right there when you get the right letters on there. SELX. Here we go. SELX. Um, that is SELX is electronic components, and this one's setting up pretty good, trying to curl up there nice. Let's see what it did in the after hours here. Yeah, that one's getting ready to run back up into that 150s and try to cruise. So keep an eye on that. And then SGLY, some of these are great right here. 153 to 170. It's at 160 today. So keep an eye on this GLY, because that one's looking pretty healthy too to try to run around. It looks like it's just getting fired up and started here. So keep an eye on SGLY because that's looking good. And STAF, Staffing 360 is looking really good. That's curling up beautifully right there. What it do? 224 to 226 did come back down to 205, but it's at 221. And like I said, it's curling up really nice right there. And it's just bouncing around as it's getting ready. So STAF, keep an eye on that. Some great ones here. TIRX, we haven't seen this in a while. And this one ran up last week and it's curling back up and looks pretty healthy right there. So TIRX not looking bad. It did run up on day after Christmas. So Thursday it ran from 301 to 414 and today 152 to 179. It's at 178 and looks pretty good to continue. So that one looks good. TIRX and VSME. Let's see what that's doing here. That was up 6 cents and looking pretty nice. And Laptop Travel said staff's a micro flow with like 1.2 million. So like I said, it is looking really healthy right there. And let's take a look. VSME curling up here, 112 to 120. It's at 120. You should have a momentum play right there to be running tomorrow on there. XRTX down to, oh, that one's setting up really good, guys. XRTX. Yeah, let it pull back. Let it just set up for a couple more days. Maybe at the end of the week. I'll keep an eye on that one, and that'll be good. And YYAI, isn't that like some sport one or something? Connie X Sports Technologies. Look at that. I knew we went through this before, and this one's trying to get set up. So keep an eye on it. It has a lot of room, too. So maybe this one can get blasted off here. YYAI. And it does want to try to get cruising off of that 20. So we'll see how far it can run. Has that 50 up there at like 314. We're at 121, 118 right in that range right now. So there's YYAI, and that is trying to get set up there. So we'll keep an eye on YYAI. So there you go at your laptop lowdowns and some great ones right there. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'll jump into crypto, see what it looks like tonight. We'll go through and see what the big caps and all them are looking like. So here we go. Let me see what our crypto looks like right here. And our Bitcoin is 92,000 200 and something right there. Let's see what it looks like. And it is getting pushed down by that 20. It's not really ready yet, and it's way down there, but not all the way down there, so it could get pushed down some more. Let's see what Ethereum's doing. And that one was looking a little better earlier. Let's see. And that 20, it's trying to curl it up, but it still has to jump up there. So it's trying to, but it's not really doing it yet. And it could continue to push it down if it wanted to, but we need Ethereum to just try to jump up there. It's not doing it yet. Ripple is down to 202. Took a nice dip right there. And Ripple is getting pushed down right there as well. So yeah, that one's getting pushed down. That could come down some more. Solana's back to 189. And let's take a look and see. And Solana was trying to cross through right there. It was hitting the line. We'll have to see if it can. Um, Solana's actually right there. It's teetering, so I'll have to keep an eye on that tonight. That'll be an interesting one. Cardano's at 84, and that one looks like it's still getting pushed down. So they look like they were trying to get moving earlier. Doge is at 31, a little over 31, and that one's the still the 20 can still push it down a little. So not perfect. Solana might look the best out of them, and we'll have to keep an eye on that. And Bonk, let's see what that because that was right there as well. And that 20 just went flat and just keeps pushing it down there. Let me see. It's trying to cross through. It's just running on that line on the MACD. So it's not crossing through. And we'll have to keep an eye and see if it can. How about WIF? Let's look at that one. And that's at 175. So that took a nice dip right there. And that one was trying to get to be curled around, but not doing it now. So there you go. And here's a little watch list for New Year's Eve. Boom, posted out. Thank you, Laptop Travel. But yeah, crypto not looking so hot at the moment, so we'll keep an eye on that and see if it can get any better. And we'll keep you updated on crypto, of course. So there you go with that, and that is our crypto. Let me see what else we have going on. Just posted that out, staff. LVLU, we did that. I messed that up. Headquarters of AMTD Digital, and that's HKD, is located in Paris, France, but really AMTD Digital is a Hong Kong-based fintech company that was incorporated in 2019. So there you go. Thank you, Laptop Travel. PSEC. Let's look at a couple of these for Jennifer Lee and see what she has going on. PSEC, and let's see what that's doing. Prospect Capital Corp, and that was had a dividend recently. It looks like on the 27th. PSEC. Let's see. Just has that weird look. 428 and closed at 428. It opened and closed. It does look really good on mine though. I'm gonna tell you that. On FinViz, it looks pretty good. On mine, it looks pretty solid, and it has that weird look, like it just wants to do something wild. And you know Jennifer Lee, she knows how to pick them. So I am gonna jot down this PSEC and definitely take a look at it in the morning because she does love to pick the ones that like the pop real nice. So there you go. We'll keep an eye on that. That INVZ, we were looking at that, and that was popped up there. I was thinking of the other one, whatever intrusion or something was popped up today. We'll figure out what that was. This is a different one, InnoViz Technologies, but this one has run up. This one's way at the top up here. Let me see. INVZ and 190 to 207. It's at 184. I would be careful with this one. It looks like it could be topped out there. PSEC was probably looking better. And NU, let's look. I think we did that. No, we didn't. That looks real good as it's curling up right there. And you, what is it? 1040 to 1082. It's at 1064. And I'd say that's one to keep an eye on, guys. NU, that's looking pretty solid right there. I know we've looked at that in the past, but that's a good one as well. And what was that PSEC doing? I don't even remember. I just said it like 3 seconds ago. And I already forgot Prospect Capital. But yeah, this one looks like it's trying to curl up there. So we'll keep an eye on that one right there. It did look good on mine. And there you go, Jennifer Lee. And HKD, after its IPO, its price increased dramatically, soaring from an IPO price of 780 to a peak of $2,500 in a few weeks. That's right. That's what it did. I knew it did something crazy. And then and resulted in a market capitalization that briefly made it one of the 30 most valuable companies in the world despite its limited revenue history. Yeah, I remember it went nutty. I remember that run exactly, and it did go crazy. Thank you, Laptop Travel, for that info. And ULC for Gowser. How are you, Gowser 444? ULC. Let's see what that's. ULCC. I have that. That's a Frontier Group if you want to see that one. Let's look at it. I'll look at ULCC. It looks like it's pulling back at the moment, but it is setting up to get running probably in a week or two, probably 2 weeks with how things are running right now. But you could probably see it pull back into the 650s. It's at 710. I'll look at it in the morning. It's sitting right here on that line. And if it's going to pull back, it's probably coming back to that 640 area, actually. What did I say? 650, 647. So right there, that's where your 20 is. That's your first support. But it has a hard support right here at 684. So, I'll have to see it tomorrow. It could bounce up there. It just doesn't have that look to me right there. And let me know if that is the one you wanted to see, ULCC, because I don't see a ULC anywhere. Let me look on mine. ULC, yeah, it just comes up ULCC. And how about NCNA? I know we've looked at this before. New Canna. NCNA. Let's see. NCNA and New Canopy PLC ADR. And this one is run up. And in that channel, it could just have a little bit of pullback as it's in that channel right here. It ran up on Friday, 149 to 191. Today it's at 142. It ran from 136 to 148. It's at 142. It's in that channel. And I do think it's setting up. I'm not sure if it's going to pop tomorrow, but it is setting up. NCNA not looking bad right there. So there you go with that one. And then NXU, and let me see what else here. SDST, let's see what else is going on with that one. SDST. Stardust Power. That's speaking of Stardust. I just vacuumed down here. I swear I have sawdust like in my face, or I keep rubbing my face, and it's funny that Stardust just came up because I'm sitting here like I swear I just got like sawdust in my face. I have to like take my whole desk apart and clean it again, I guess, because obviously I was doing a bunch of work down there. I wasn't even cutting anything down here. I did all the cuts outside. It still got a ton of sawdust all over, and I don't know where it just came from, but it just like went all over my face, and I just came up on Stardust. And I'm sitting here like rubbing my face. So if you watch the video and I'm like rubbing my face, it's because there's like sawdust somewhere. So I got to take this all apart after the show and clean it again. I already did it one time, but you know how sawdust and dust it'll just pop in the air as you're trying to clean it, and then it settles again. And yeah, I don't know what just happened, but it just went in my face somewhere. Anyway, let's look at Stardust Power. I'm not worried about a little sawdust, but we'll look at Stardust. And that one's in the basement. Tried to run up here. Let me see this bad boy. SDST. But that was just weird how Stardust came up, and I'm sitting here messing around with sawdust in my face. Anyway, 483 to 577. It did run today. It looked like it was trying to run, but it couldn't break through that 20 right there, or it did, and it couldn't keep it up there at 557, and then it got up to 577. So it did. It came back to 453, and it still looks like it wants to get cruising. This is an interesting one right there, Jennifer Lee, and I think that one wants to actually get cruising. I think it tried to test it. It didn't get through. And maybe it don't try to pop tomorrow. Maybe it does, but it does look like it's trying to set up and get running. So that's one to definitely keep an eye on. Stardust Power, electrical equipment and parts. It's way down there too. And that bottom was down here at that 413. What was its low today? 403. So we got lower. Maybe it does pull back a little. I'll keep an eye on it for you in the morning. I wrote it down. No, I didn't. Let me write it down. SDST. And yeah, we can look at that in the morning. That's an interesting one. I kind of like that one down there. So that's good right there. And let's go ahead and look at our SPY and our big caps and them guys and see what they're up to. Not anything great today, and the video is looking pretty good. And like I said, when the big caps are coming down, you know them penny stocks are going to be popping. So that's why we hop in them sometimes. And I prefer the options. And again, you can do your puts, but it was easy to nail some of these penny stocks as well. And there is a game on tonight, the Monday night game, San Francisco and Detroit. It's in the third quarter. That's ending pretty soon, and it's 28 to 24. The 49ers are winning. So there's a little NFL update for you. And let's go ahead and look at our SPY, which was down to 588. Remember, I was saying yesterday, and it was touching down there. I said it could come down to that 584. Well, you know where its low was? 584.41. I exactly said that. I should pull the clip from yesterday because that's where it's resistance, it's support. And honestly, it could come down to the 570 right here. So I did mention that on the stocks on spaces today because it could pop up a little bit tomorrow, but it can stair step down. It's still not looking that healthy, but once it gets down there, it's going to be bottomed out and ready to rock and roll. So we'll keep an eye on it and see if it wants to pull back that far. I'm just telling you it could, and it has that look like it's very possible. I'm not saying it's definite. I'll keep an eye on it and keep you updated, of course. Apple came down. It was down like 339 today. coming back to 252. It was just up at 260 the other day, and Apple did pull back, but it's hitting. They're all hitting like the same thing. They're coming back down to the 20s, hitting right around that. They look like they kind of want to bounce off the MACD. They're all coming down to the MACD line and bouncing and hitting like right around the 20. So most of the big caps are looking like that, especially the Mag 7. Amazon, same look, pulled back. It's under the 20, has good support, but it does look like it's trying to get moving or at least parachute its way down. So keep an eye on that in the morning. And Google is down only $1.35. It was trying to fight its way up. And again, this one hitting the MACD line, not quite to the 20, just like Apple. Looks like it's trying to get back up there. Meta down 857, touching that support line. The 20's over it. This one could pull back a little bit and doesn't have a hard support until like 536, and you're at 590. So I'm not saying it's definitely coming down, but hopefully it gets a little pop off of this line right here so it can hold itself up. And Microsoft was dipping, and we expect this one to come back. Remember, we talked about under that 420 area, and we very well could see that tomorrow. It got down to 421, so there you go. And it's at 424, and there you go at Microsoft. We figured that was coming back, and it did look like it needed to. And let's look at NVIDIA. This one looked good. It was up today. And like I said, this one was setting up to blast off, and it should. So NVIDIA is looking the best out of them all right now. And Tesla was down some more, hitting that 20. It's in an interesting spot right there, 417, even lower right there, down lower than that 420. So we'll see what happens there. And let's see right here. Here's our overnight prices for our Mag 7, courteous of Laptop Travel. And Amazon is up like a little bit there. Looks like 11% actually. Amazon's up. Meta is up a little bit, up like 6%, and Apple's up 6%. And then our red guys, Google, Microsoft, are both down about 8%. And Nvidia looks like it's down 10%, and Tesla looks like it just got smacked and is down like 0.4%, not 10%, 0.1%, not. So yeah, there you go. And yeah, so we'll see what they look like. And again, we have our Amazon, Meta, and Apple are up overnight, and Alphabet, which is Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, and Tesla, are down and overnight. So we'll see how that plays out in the morning on pre-market. Thank you very much, Laptop Travel, for them bad boys right there. And let's just cruise right through and look at our big caps and see what the rest of them did today or didn't do, honestly. AMC, this one did pull back a hair. It was way set up, and it's not bad. It's just going to have to come back down to this bottom right here. And today very well could be that bottom at 387. So we'll see if AMC wants to bounce back up. And like I said, it was setting up. It did pull back with the red market. Maybe they'll start to bounce back up and even parachute themselves down a little bit would be fine. But we need some pop-ups here. And so AMC, let's see if it'll do it. GameStop was down a little bit. And again, over the line, just kind of flat, nothing crazy. Chewy was up, and I'm telling you, this thing is set up. So keep your eye on CHWI because that thing does want to run, and we knew that. Netflix was down $7, and I thought it was pulling. Before I said it, I was like, was it down today? But yeah, it's pulling back, and Netflix could pull back a little bit more, and so keep your eye on that for a good price. AVGO is down today, $6. It was trying to get back in the top, pulling back, but probably going to set back up for that Broadcom. And that's AVGO. And MU was down another $3 today, down to that 85, and it's down to that hard line in the bottom. So let's see if it can get that good pop going off of there. And TSM was down a little bit, right to the 20. Let's see if it can pop off of that and the MACD line. So a lot of these have opportunity to just pop off of there. And again, tomorrow's New Year's Eve, so we'll see what happens with that. SMCI, this one was down $1.30, and it was trying to curl up. It's just down there, so it's not really that far down. Didn't like get crazy dip, so We'll keep an eye on SMCI, see when it's ready to get rolling again. AMD did pull back though. It was setting up really nice. It's still over that MACD line, just flat, and had that pullback look. So we'll have to see if AMD wants to get rolling again. PayPal was down a little bit today and came down to that 50. We'll have to see if it wants to come down a little bit more. And there's not much holding it up, so it will be interesting to see PayPal tomorrow. Snowflake came down some more, and we expected this to pull back significantly because remember, this was way up there in like the almost 190 range. It's back to 154 and can keep pulling back. So Snow is coming down. And Qualcomm, QCOM, this one pulled back 266. It's on that hard support line. And let's see if it's going to get a really nice bounce right here. You can't really tell, to be honest with you. QCOM, and it can bounce right off that MACD line and that support line and get crazy there. So be interesting to see that tomorrow. INTC, another one came back down to that support line, crossed over, and that one's getting really set up. So INTC, look for dips. Disney was down, but I think Disney's going to try to base out down here, probably come down to that 50, maybe 108 range. It's at 110. So look for Disney to pull back a little. Oxy was down a little bit, and look for it. It's an interesting one for sure because at 49.39, it can hit some hard resistance right there and come back down. I know Buffett just put a bunch into it. It was set up way better, and then he put a bunch of money in, and now it's set up kind of bearish again. So I'm not sure what's up with OXY. We'll have to keep an eye on it and see if the 20 crawls up and it can get cruising. It will change directions, and it was bullish, like I said, but it did change and coming down. But I think it could turn back around relatively easy. So I'll keep an eye on that OXY. But ExxonMobil was setting up and it never came out of the basement, and it was looking great to try to do it today, and never even hit the line. It just got to it. So we'll see if it can get to the line and cross through. It's right there, and it's still in that basement, so it didn't even attempt to get out there. And I was kind of surprised, but then again, the market was pretty red. Mara's way down, 1729. That could be a bottom right there or another day or so, so we'll keep an eye on that. And Riot was down some more, and that could be the bottom, or it could be down another day or so. So obviously keeping an eye on them. And MicroStrategy way down there. It came way down. It's at 302, and it's getting kind of beat on because it was up at like 550 not long ago. So from 500 to 302 is quite a dip, and see if it can pull back a little bit more. Good old MicroStrategy, and then we'll see if when Bitcoin wants to get rolling, it'll get rolling again. CLSK was down some, and again, it almost looks like that bottom, but we have to confirm it and see. Coin was down another $10, and that has some support down at 220. And you're at 255, so I'm interested to see how far Coin's going to come back, and we'll catch that on the way up. That'll be a nice coin flip. DJT, that one did pull back $1.96, and like I was saying, had that look. I thought it wanted to go up, but everything was down today, and it was trying to crawl up, and it did pull back. I still think that bottom was right here at 32.75, and we're at 34.12, so DJT could get rolling right back around. It's in that channel. Hopefully that'll pop back around tomorrow. We'll have to see about that one. And fun, that got fun for a day or so, and then it kind of topped out Friday and pulled back, but it does have that dip and rip kind of look. So we'll see if fun can continue its way up tomorrow. MTN Mountain was down a little bit, but it's just setting up. I'm telling you, this thing's setting up to be really bullish there. So that thing's going to get cruising. McDonald's was down some more. I'm surprised. It was setting up perfectly. Maybe that's a dip and rip right there. It's looked like it a million times. So who knows? But it does look pretty set up at that spot. So that could be your Big Mac for McDonald's right there. That little dip today. And what was its low? 289 exactly. It's at 280. It's almost at 280, almost at 290. So keep an eye on McDonald's because MCD, I thought it was going to get rolling before. It didn't do it. It never crawled up Friday. Pull back today, and we'll see if it can get rocking and rolling there. And how about Boeing? I mean, this company is unbelievable. It ran up. I don't know how it did because aerospace and defense, and they just make this company run. It got into the top, and apparently all them new plane crashes and stuff. There was that one terrible one was the landing gear for Boeing, and now there's been another one apparently the same issue. So Boeing's just had issue after issue after issue, and it's just unbelievable how many issues they can have. So there you go with that. And yeah, I don't know what's up with Boeing and when they're gonna what's gonna happen with that. So it does look like it's pulling back there, and it should be pulling back there. So there you go with Boeing. And let's take a look and see what else. I'm gonna make sure you guys see if I post anything that you guys want to look at, and I'll fly through the rest of these bad boys. Space SPCE. I'm telling you, this thing's been setting up, and they all kind of dipped. It was trying to get through on Friday, and obviously today it pulled back, and it was in a great spot, and it's still not bad. We'll have to see tomorrow if it really wants to get set back up and cruising. So we'll take a look at SPCE and Rivian. That one's kind of pulling back, but it might be getting set back up here. I was looking at it today. It was hard to tell. It got under the 20 and has that weird look. So I'll have to look at Rivian in the morning. We'll take a look at it. PLTR. This one actually did pull back $1.90, but not under that 20, guys. So be careful. Be careful shorting this bad boy. You know this thing's an animal. And same thing with Sophie. This one actually did come under the 20. You could see this pull back, but again, that bottom could easily be at what 1458 and you're at 1556, so you have to be careful with this Sophie and PLTR. And how about Dell? That one went down some more today. It was setting up good. Maybe it'll try to bounce off that line again and get cruising. So that is Dell, and it is over the MACD barely. And like I said, it was trying to get rolling and just pull back. And Nike NKE, this was back at $1.77, but definitely setting up. So I think there's going to be a lot of great opportunities right here. And the market kind of just took some dips. And that DXYZ finally is dipping down like I thought it would, but now it's really pulling back. So it's at 60.19, and we'll see how far it can pull back there. So there you go. And let's just look at our yin and our yang. I can't tell what's going on, but the yin was down, and it looks like it wants to pop tomorrow. And the yang was up today, and it looks like it wants to pop tomorrow. So I don't even know what's up with them two. They're really tough for me to tell right now. And that nug, that was down some more, and it's hitting that bottom. Let's see what dust is doing. And dust could continue to go up some more. So nug could continue to pull back some, and dust continue to go up. So there you go with them bad boys. Let me see what you guys want to see, and then we'll wrap it up with the scanner and all that. Good old Lloyd Sense wants to see Bingo, BNGO. And let's see it. I don't know what this is up to. BI or BNGO. I was going about to sing Bingo, BINGO. BNGO. And that one did run today, huh? It's looking pretty good there. Bingo's running. It's not even called Bingo, but it's called Bio Nano Genomics. Yeah, something like that. I can't even read. Anyway, BN and GO, I can see what the chart does. That's what I can do. I can't read it. I can't read English, but I can read a chart. Unbelievable, huh? Anyway, BNGO, here we go. It was in a good spot there. It did pop up there and looks pretty good. 21 to 35. It's at 34. I would definitely keep an eye on that in the morning for a momentum play because it looks pretty good right there, Lloyd Sense. I can't complain about that one. SOBR, we definitely went over that. And I'll tell you again, sober safe. This one is trying to curl up. It's not even looking bad. It pulled back a little bit today. It was nothing terrible. And it should try to hit that line tomorrow. And it's in a good spot. So I would assume it's trying to get through. Maybe it rides the line. Maybe it doesn't get through tomorrow, but it should stay set up right there for SOBR. And there you go with that. ERNA. Let's look at that one. Eterna Therapeutics. And this one looks really good curling up. I like that one right there. ERNA. Take a look at that tomorrow. That's going to be a popper right there, Jennifer Lee. You got that look right there. ERNA. Write that one down, everybody, because it's looking good right there. Here you go. ERNA. I'll repost that guy. And there you go to Mag 7. I think we got them. Looks like the election map. That's funny. That's so great. It looks like the election map. It's all red. That's a beautiful thing right there. And speaking of which, honestly, it just looks like it's pulling back to bottom out so it can get rolling in the next couple weeks. So maybe we see some pullback, but guess what? These penny stocks will go wild while it happens. So we can't complain about that. We just take advantage of the situation. That's all. Let's take a look and see what's going on the scanner. If anything grabs my attention, NXU, SMX. We did look at that VINC the other day. Someone brought it up or it was on here. XTIA, I'm telling you guys, keep an eye on it. It's looking pretty decent. And that WAD, FFIE, TNXP, INTZ, that's the one I was thinking of, Intrusion. That one ran up. We were looking at that bad boy the other day. That ran up over 100% today, and we were just looking at that. So yeah, them bad boys are running. I don't see anything too crazy. Let me look at the next page here. Lucid, that one's coming back down. CYN, that's trying to set up. I mentioned that one. CRKN just down a little bit. Nothing crazy. GTI, that one looks like it's trying to move right there. That's in other industrial metals and mining. I'm telling you, them things are looking good along with a what other sector did I say was looking good there? Oh, it's right here. The scientific and technical instruments are looking good, and aerospace and defense. We went through that the other day, and they were looking good. How about STEM was up, RVSN, and a couple of these other guys. Let me see if there's any crazy thing in volume over here. WAKNCT, we don't. Octo, that one ran up. We were looking at that for a while, and that thing ran up pretty significantly today. So that was a good one right there. Let's see. BLBX ran up real nice. We weren't looking at that one. I don't know what that is. Black Box Stocks. Didn't we look at that? That name sounds familiar. I think that was on like a laptop travel list. That one went from like way down to way up. It went 169 to like 410 today. That one ran pretty nice. Let's see, that KORE, that was on our list. ARTW, we were definitely looking at that. That ran up over $1 today. I forgot about that one. And there's so many of them that we were looking at that are popping. It's crazy. So yeah, MGOL, that's curling up, and SPCB was up there. So there you go. I think that's it. And Asian stocks fluctuate on last trading day of 2024. Why 2024 was a standout year for Wall Street. South Korea's consumer inflation quickens in December amid faltering won. I have no idea. Stock futures tick lower as S&P 500 closes out second year in a row with a 20% gain. How crazy is that? Let me see what's going on StockTwits over here real quick, and we'll wrap it up with that. Good old Holo's way up. That MSTX, that must be the MicroStrategy long, and that's way down there. So that's exactly what that is. AISP, UNG, that's that United States Natural Gas Fund. That ran way up, and it's at the top there. So that ran up today. The MSTU, SPCB, and MSTR, all of them are on there. BMR, that's that Beam Imaging or something. That one ran up. Keep an eye on BMR in the morning. That one's looking pretty solid right there. And there you go. I would think that that's a pretty solid little list right there, and a Looks like we covered everything, so I think we got the entire market covered for today going into New Year's Eve. And remember, in the summertime and before even Halloween, I said Halloween would come up quick, Thanksgiving and Christmas and the New Year's and all that good stuff. And like I was saying before, Halloween it would get good, Thanksgiving get great, and around Christmas amazing. New Year's, it's not so amazing. We had some great weeks. It's a little red pulling back, but I'll tell you what, 2025, we were going to destroy the market and just hit everything going up and down. It doesn't even matter. So I'm super excited about it. And these penny stocks are running. And like you see, we can hit either the options, big caps, we can hit pennies, we can hit crypto, we can hit anything that wants to move. You just got to we just got to look at it. So we break down all the charts, we break down the markets, and we find out what's going to move, and we hit the poppers. And that's what we do. And I greatly appreciate everybody that hangs out and contributes. Laptop Travel and so many people, Luis Rodriguez and Jennifer Lee. I mean, there's just so many people. Everybody basically contributes, and I greatly appreciate it. So everyone, thanks for hanging out. Again, Laptop Travel, Scott, Luis Rodriguez, Jennifer Lee. Chai Berry, Bong Chan, Doge Mama 9, Sherry, Serial Winner, how are you? LCHS Athletic Department's on here. MS Sinai, Twatter, J Kratz, Bruce is on here. That's Bruce Dehan is on there. And Lloyd Sense and Monkey Ninja Pigs on there. That's a crazy one. Sean and Dark Horse 419, Kyle's on here. Barbara, Patrick, and Alicia, and so many others were on here. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll be on at 7 a.m. for pre-market. It'll be the last one of 2024, and it'll be New Year's Eve. So there you go. And this is the last night show in 2024. So how about that? And yeah, we'll see you at 7 a.m. So everybody get some rest. Have a good night. Enjoy your evening. The game's still on. Fourth quarter. The Lions are up 34-28 against the 49ers. So go enjoy that. Look at some stock charts. And I'll catch you guys at 7 a.m. So have a good night, everybody. And I'll see you in the morning.